Welcome, one and all, to another scene within the Mage venue of New York City. And in fact, this full scene will star no mages, at least to start with. We are joined by Jack Cooper in his daily life. Um, to go a little bit about your insight, after a very fatal incident, and in which you had lost your mentor, Father Walter, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your life afterwards. How you're faring? What are you doing now?
Well, after his mentor's death, Jack left his school where he was actually training to be a priest. And after his very expensive home and his family behind, he, I have to say he especially hated his father. And as he found out that his fate cannot help him on the matters that is troubling him, he decided to take an alternate route. He decided to get involved with occult, with esoterica, with supernatural as much as he could. But
Okay.
he wasn't able to actually be involved with any kind of supernatural whatsoever. But he traveled across United States and he has come to known inside the occult and supernatural conspiracy circles, let's say.
Okay. So you're doing the whole new age. Things don't feel right, but maybe I can like put your mind at ease. I mean, I've known this kind of stuff before, even though I come from a background that is not specifically this. Is I maybe help you and other such nonsense. Okay. Well, I was gonna add a few different. Add another thing. It has been immediately afterwards, but ever so recently. Whenever you're kind of just alone with your own thoughts, your hearing kind of goes askew, like it's taking input from a number of simultaneously just different areas at once. Like when you have earbuds in, and there's also your speakers are too loud, while someone like in the next room over is trying to shout out their significant other in an argument. And in an otherwise quiet situation, these things just happen regularly for you, and they only ever seem to quiet down when you're around other people or when there's an awful lot of wind, as if the wind is channeling the sounds once they're in, giving you a more streamlined interpretation. Like you go ahead and shut the door, or you turn off your earphones, or you turn off the speaker. But in those very specific instances, it's always quite a bit louder.
He would probably take this as, I don't know, maybe work, because what he does is he basically does research. He goes to the libraries. He surfs on the internet. Um he actually tries to track down any kind of weird happenings in the city. So, you know, people say that when you actually put your mind into it, when you get really into it, you start hearing things because you are actually reading and seeing too much of it. He will probably think of it as that.
Okay. So at first you just dissociated, your imagination going a little bit too wild, or maybe it's just the stress of the job or the stress of the living situation, as it were, or lack thereof in. But at certain times, especially when you're in or at least around sanctified places, is or at least that's what I think to say it, or any places like at the foot of a bell tower, it just starts becoming more and more and more and more to an even deafening degree, and even the company of assistants or of do mates and other people just doesn't seem to stifle it at these particular moments. But every once in a while, there's the nice cool breeze again, in which goes ahead and collects all those sounds and categorizes them for you, and you're starting to get the link between wind and comfort.
Well, in those moments, he would probably try to focus as much as he can to, if he's even hearing things, he would probably try to make sense out of it. But if he couldn't, Jack
Okay,
is a different sort of person, so he would probably try to go one of those places and push it as hard as he could to see what's going to happen.
okay. Do. Well, this is what you kind of understand and what people kind of just get as well. Wind is typically stronger when you climb towers and such because the atmosphere and it's the wish, as if that's not a subtle hint.
Mm-hmm. Well, if that's the case, he's going to go all out. He will try to probably try to climb up to a top of a I don't know.
Okay. Do. You're currently sitting in a, or currently climbing, as it were, or a rather old stone and woodwork circular, and up to a one of the bells, as it were. This bell has been defunct for quite a number of years, and as you're trying to get above this confusion, as it were, you're also realizing something else. Yes, as if just now you've recently realized that there's a veil in front of you that's always been in front of you, and you've only been permeating it ever since the fatal incident and in which you lost your mentor, Father Walters. And as you're now trying to climb, um, you feel like a blind man, but you're starting to see. You think you're a madman, but you're starting to think as it were. Here. And as you finally get to the bell tower itself, the wind has actually started to pick up, as it were, because of convenient ST storm about to blow in, and maybe it is a hurricane not too far away from the coast. Maybe it's just a rather large thunderstorm, but the air around here just feels electrified. Hey, and as you scan out the horizon, and you're starting to realize all the sounds are suddenly being added to. The more, not sounds, I should say, more feelings and senses are being touched upon them. The touch of sand, the touch of grass, as the heat of air, the coolness of water, and all these different things divided amongst themselves, associating with the sounds themselves. And your eyes now are actually getting a blurred focus, as it were, or of three very distinct. As you look to the north, you will see what looks like to be a mountain and a village, and in the clouds, as it were. First, it's in the clouds. North, there is a village and a mountain. South, there seems to be a garrison and what sounds like the Skrulls are fighting. And off to the east, is you actually hear what seems to be clicks and boops, and you feel very, very coldness right there.
Okay. If that's the case, this is something that no human stumbles upon every day. So he's gonna get a little bit excited, and he's gonna start having trouble breathing. So he's gonna pull out his inhaler, give it a shake, and then take a breath out of it.
Uh, when you take a breath of the inhaler, the um, the scene of the mountain and the village starts to crystallize a lot better than the other two at this point. Uh, and suddenly you find yourself in the hut of Elder Walter. There's your faithful mentor for many, many years. Although he seems to not be doing too well these days, he finds himself secreted to his mud house, his water pot always close by, and he's trying to get your attention as if these are these last little bits of life springing into him every once in a while again.
No, 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 no. No, 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 this is not happening. And to wake himself up, he's next to a bell, right?
Yeah, he's next to a bell.
He's gonna ring the bell with his fingers just to like be sure that he's hallucinating and everything else around him is normal.
He's like, "Do you want to give a good hard knock, or do you just want to touch it?"
No, 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 just like two fingers, like two knuckles of his fingers, and like
Mm,
fingers.
okay, okay. As you hit the ding, this time, Elder Walter, who's the elder of your tribe for many, many years, as it were, or succumbing to some type of illness and asking for aid, is suddenly replaced with a cold, densified looking room with steam pipes and control panels every which way. And you're currently getting a healing frequency SS Morningstar, or please report in.
Is that coming from the bell? Oh, see.
It's like, oh, see, because you rang the bell, well, your sudden perceptions of what is happening has been taken away from the north and it started to look towards the east.
Okay. What in the hell is going on?
It's like
Did I do any
standard.
drugs? I, I didn't do any drugs. Wait, not today, at least.
Standard salvage operation mornings to are, are you sure you're up to this? I mean, not that you're the only one out here, but you're kind of the only one out here. As he says, he's pointing as he's sort of illustrating a what's up this slave, what looks like a rather star chart, as it were. Because you remember these star charts. These star charts were drilled into your memory for a very, very long time. And the application of this vessel that you currently find yourself in is a solar excavator, as it were.
Okay, now he's gonna get really confused. Like Jack is almost beyond confused at this point. He can make no sense out of anything.
He's like, okay, is it your first time, Morningstar?
Also, Ozzy, I think I missed it. Who is talking to him right now?
He's like, it seems to be someone giving you a hail frequency.
Oh, so like there isn't actually
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there isn't like actually a person he can see that is talking to him. He's just hearing this.
voice on the radio concept. Yep.
Okay. I also the player also got confused for a little. Okay.
Fair enough, fair enough. It's like, do you know what entropy is, kid?
Entropy. Who the fuck are you?
I'm talking about the life death of the universe. You see, everything, even stars, whether it takes a few dozen billion centuries or a few 100,000 centuries, eventually everything just explodes and expands. That's the problem with using solar energy these days, using a celestial energy these days, is you have to keep harvesting, otherwise we all go into the blackness. Not that the celestial bodies give a shit. It they sit like fight's all about life is what they keep saying, but when worlds just get exploded because of no fuck off reason, do the stars care? No, no, no. That's why we're here. We're here to take it.
Well, at least we agree on something.
It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We will not go. Don't go quietly out into the darkness. Take the stars for all they're worth.
Okay, but the question still stands. Who the hell are you?
I've always been here. Here, I am the adversary. That's the code name.
Really? You're just a voice just appearing out of thin air and you're you're actually worried about code names and shit?
Hey, 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 hey. Do you tell everyone your birth name? No, 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 no. Out here, what you do is more important than who you are.
And that's another thing we agree on.
Come on, kid. This isn't Earth. Earth is long, long fucking dead.
Okay, so how did Earth die in about 6 minutes?
Hmm. I'm not sure. And it's really not my application for you to know. That's for basically that's for you to figure out if you want to. But right now, we need the star.
Okay, let's just assume for a second that you actually make sense, which is would be interesting.
Hmm.
What do you mean by getting a star?
I mean, we must pilfer its to radioactive material, capture its exposing radiant energy. He's collect all of it and use it to propel ourselves outward and aboundward, so that we don't starve to death in the darkness.
Okay. And he just rests his back to one of the pillars around the bell.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, very surprisingly, he actually pulls out a pack of cigarettes. and lights 1. Okay, let's again, for a minute, say that we're gonna do this. Uh, there are many, many, many logistical questions out there that we need to answer first.
I'm sick. Fair enough. Ask away. I'll try to explain as best I can.
Okay, first, how do you get there? He just points up to the sky.
Sorry, say
And
that again. You
second,
went everybody.
oh, I'm sorry, he points up to the sky without actually turning his head up to the sky and says, first of all, how are we going to get there? Second of all, how in hell are we going to get the energy of a star? And even if we are able to do all of this, the most important question, how are we going to do all of that without dying?
It's like, I'd lay off on the cigarettes, kid. I think it's messing with your mind. The SS Morning Star is more than capable of his current duties. I mean, it's the SS Morning Star was basically designed to take celestial bodies, condense them, transport them for better energy processing, and who what are you, a third grade? Yeah, you're a third grade. You do this is like the back of you know this like the back of your hand, kid. You just have to trust yourself. Not getting nervous on us, are you?
Okay, try to put yourself in my shoes. You
Okay. I
just get up
am
into a top of
I've had 10
get to the top of
years
a
I've had 10 years experience. I'm in a highly advanced vessel and I'm in a prime opportunity. Actually, Galileo subsection B12 is more than primed.
okay. Balls somehow, or I just stumbled upon something very good. Also, by the way, what the hell is an SS Morningstar?
Oh, it's the celestial absorber, the ship you are currently occupying.
To those words, he's just gonna take a look around a little bit.
As you've been conversing with this, we're gonna call it an entity for a while. Well, your surroundings have more and more and more or less adopted the Frenchings and subtle and subtle objectifyings of grease, of recycled air that maybe needs to be cleaned out, of slightly burnt radio chips, and of a number of different combinations, and also seems to provide yourself with a very interesting view of some pulleys and handles that you almost second nature now. Not that you know it in your conscious mind, but like you're borrowing it from someplace else. The knowledge of how to work this thing.
Okay, Jack is going to take a look at all these things, and he's gonna go, okay, this just turned from trippy to creepy real fast. Okay.
That's actually a very proper description. I mean, have you ever been inside a coffin before? That's actually what we are in.
I didn't think that they were so spacious, but
They make really nice coffins in Stardate 8XS double Y.
I'm gonna take your word on that. Ah, what the hell? Okay, since we're doing this, okay. So what's the next step?
Okay, okay. Basically, you draw. Basically, you're going to go ahead and or at least taxi carry yourself over to Galileo X subsystem B, okay? And then you're going to have to initiate the plasma realigner to very strategic points. I suggest stalled coordinate points B and C. Okay? This shouldn't be too hard. All right, and then once you've done that, you got to make sure you isolate those two frequencies at a subsonic degree. And once you've got all of that, we'll just have a nice little star packaged up. Oh,
Okay, now can you explain it in English, please?
oh, okay, okay, okay. Ding, 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 ding. Uh, these are the waypoints. Waypoints. Go here, drop a thing here, drop a starting point here, go to this waypoint, drop a starting thing here, initiate sequence, pack up, and then you're good.
Okay. And he just starts doing all that. Exactly what the entity said.
Okay, okay, okay. The SS Morningstar goes ahead and drifts through the vacuum and the darkness and the loneliness of out of the blackened void. This is a scenario in which the darkness has engulfed much as one much, and these are very few celestial bodies are the last things holding a torch, as it were, a final vigil against the emptiness and a death of the universe. And as you're able to sort of pilot the Morning Star, click, 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 uh, process and a half later, the star known as Galileo subsection B2, who is taken out. The brightness that was given to this little spot is suddenly translated, as it were, to a dimness, a numbness, and is disappearing as this celestial star system destabilizes, as it were. The atrociating comets and orbital things do not quite realize what has happened yet, so they will continue in their orbital structure for the moment until you decide to leave, and the and Galileo 2XB is currently the prize of SS Morningstar. And as this is sort of going on this particular sensation is actually going ahead and take a pause, as it were, as if this very event is resonating with two other events that's in your immediate surroundings in real life, not in this futuristic space techno space opera, but more as it is in the village or indeed in the cries of battle. So pretty much putting a pinpoint on there to highlight something else later.
Okay. So Jack is again take a look around, like he's trying to actually see this bodiless voice, and he's gonna go, okay, so what? We use like a space electric vacuum or something like that?
Hmm. And at this point, the disembodied voice suddenly has a very real voice and a very real presence as you find yourself in a very shouting and chaotic situation. The ground on your feet is now very, very sandy, and the voice that you were talking to seems to now be emanating from a rather statuesque helmet. And as you notice that there seems to be a number of different flying arrows and pigeon works and stuff like that. At and it seems to be this crescendo of battle just unfolding and then just falling upon itself. And then there's the fleeing and the running away. And you are currently within rather stone cities, or were. There is the littering of blood and empty refuge to the side. Right, right, and on one side you see what looks like to be a almost divine sunlight pouring in. Into the other side you see what seems to be the remnants of night, as it were, or highlighted by a pale blue moon, as these two conflicting ideas wrestle over this one space. And you can definitely see a number of different people, not soldiers or cannoneers or pirates or mercenaries, as it were, with many unsustainable injuries. Some of them seem to be crying over this and that, crying over lost loved ones. Some of them seem to be nursing their own wounds. One particular one has a rather bloody head over herself, and there are a number of different combatants and peasants that down and slain. And as you're looking more and more closely at them, you realize some very important things. Those motherfuckers have wings on their back.
Okay.
So, tell me, kid, is war glorious? Comes the voice emanating now from a helmet soldier.
Does he also have wings?
He's like, if he does not seem to be furrowing them. He seems to be wearing a cape.
Okay. And he actually looks to this helmeted guy or being and points down to one of the soldiers lying on the ground crying.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a question that you need to ask that guy rather than me.
Mm-hmm. Soldiers sign up for this, even if they don't want it. They come to the realization that this is what's going to happen eventually. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. They think anything else is, well, tantamount to foolishness. But I ask you, you know, and he now points to a little bit further beyond to what looks like to be a hovel that seems to be burnt out with a crowded figure just slumped over and non-moving. Did they sign up for this?
Nobody ever signs up for their death. They sign up for glory. But not everybody gets it. It's a gamble.
Indeed, indeed. Some men choose to gamble, some men choose to gamble themselves, and some people get gambled for it.
Jack is actually reach into his trench coat and from the inside actual coin. Do you know what gambling is?
Gambling is where you take a risk. Is clarify. Do you mean gambling or taking a risk?
Will they always go hand to hand day now, won't they?
Ah,
Let's say these soldiers had to pick from glory or death. And let's say that on this coin, heads is glory, tails is death. And he bing flips the coin to the air, catches it. What do you think it's going what do you think it's going to happen?
I think all men will eventually die. And this drama will continue and continue and continue until the life death of the universe eventually snuffs everything out.
And then Jack is going to open his hand, and the coin actually landed heads. And then he's going to pick up the coin from his hand, holding the head side to that person. Not always. You see, sometimes you tilt the balance quite enough that you may change things. And when he says that, he's gonna switch the coin to the other side. And when he does, he's gonna see that other side is also heads.
Yeah, make a Two-Face reference. Okay, go on.
Yeah, it's a trick coin.
I get you. But tell me, wouldn't you appreciate this gamble yourself? Would you take this gamble upon yourself so that others who choose not to don't have to?
I don't I don't take gambles that I lose. Even if I take a gamble that I might lose, I cheat. So I won't lose.
Rule 1, never fight a fair fight. The man sort of digs at his sides and sort of throws you what looks like to be a machete. Claim the trophy.
Trophy of what?
His wings. Take them. They are yours.
Why would I take his wings?
So you can snuff so you can snuff the thumbs of the powers that be that choose to do nothing. And well, good people just lie there and die.
You know what? I would much rather prefer to find a live one and kick it in the balls so hard that his balls would travel up to his mouth, and I will take them as trophy.
There's a little bit of confusion and a kerfuffle when you find yourself in front of Goliath and you are the David. You have your sling in hand. It's almost exactly as you had pronounced it. The battle is quick, although without struggle and tiring out. The outcome is certain, but the battle is hard fought. And you do find yourself with a downed individual, and blood coming from his back. Like as you see two very fine-looking feathered birdmen. And this is where another pinpoint. And the point in which before, when you were collecting a Galileo subsection 2b, he resonates again. And this time, you are thrown on this time without. This time, the scene that you fled before is now thrust upon you as Father Walter, as Elder Walters. Tribesman of the village has to impart upon you a great, great task.
Okay, so Father Walter is standing in front of him.
Lying on his pillow cot in not a very good way. He is gesturing to you to come closer. Cool, cool, cool.
Is that helmeted guy is also around?
He is mysteriously absent at this point.
Okay, then he's gonna turn around and go like, okay, I don't know where the hell you are right now, but this is going too far. And this, he points to the Father Walter. This is going too far.
You must save them, cool. You must save them, cool.
And he turns back to Father Walter after those words.
Hmm.
Okay. How? And he's getting visibly agitated at this point.
Good. The laugh is not there, but you definitely feel the satisfaction and of someone. It's like, go, an evil spirit is taking itself into the local well. You must go to the mountain, bring back, bring back like the MacGuffin Rock. Yes, I just said MacGuffin Rock because I can't think of anything good.
Okay.
And throw it into the well to purify it.
Okay, where is it?
It is to the mountain.
Okay, let's go take a trip to the fucking mountain.
Good, good. The mountain is harsh and rocky and rubbered. This is typically where the sheep herders of your village sort of pass by, but they never go to the top. No, 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 no. Don't go to the top. It is a bad omen and to look upon the top of the rock or to gaze upon the rock. And this is a something that has been passed down through your village for a very, very long time. Don't go to the mountain. The rock is bad. Don't go to the rock. The rock will be angry. Don't go to the mountain. Mountain. To look upon one so high is sacrilege. Don't go to the mountain. It is taboo. But you are
Well,
going against that.
yeah, I mean, Jack is now at a point so angry that probably Rock won't be as angry as him.
And as you find yourself it's a grueling task. As this place is not it doesn't exactly have a highway. I should mind you. And you feel the hard nooks and crannies. You can feel the vines and whips nicking and grabbing at your legs, leaving very large scrapes, heaps, heaps. And many people have told you, no, don't go over there. Many people have warned you, no, don't go there. Go there. But as you finally reach the rock, it is a shrine, as it were, or a dedicated religious symbol. Any part of you that recognizes or understands the significance, and will see that this is something that is glorified, that is set apart. And you also notice that you know, the rock happens to be a lion body with a human face, and wings of an eagle with the tail of an asp. Yes, and other such religious iconographies. He's and the wings in particular are very, very different material and composition for the rest. They are the MacGuffin Rock.
Okay, there is going to be some select curse words to that site from Jack.
Mm-hmm. Chisel and hammer.
Well, that's not exactly Jack's style. He would much more like to try to convince the creature to give its wings away itself.
The thing known as the rock, is petrified, but its eyes move as you're trying to talk to it. Talk to it. It seems to regard you as actually, no, no, no. It does say something. What is an ant to a god like me?
What is an ant to a god, he said?
Yep.
Okay.
Your little your little ant colony, he comes and goes, but I am eternal, and will last. Hist.
Jack is going to look at it. An eternity, you say?
I will far surpass you, little ant. So, if you want to go back to your little colony of little ants, that's best for everyone. Of course, this thing is still petrified, right? But the
Mhm.
voice does come out.
Well, you see, that is not exactly the point. You say that you're eternal. That makes me believe that you have been here for a very long time. Am I wrong?
Since before the time the ant has been born,
Fair enough. And you're gonna be a lot longer than that, I presume.
long after the ant has died, I shall remain.
That's good. But do you see the paradox in this?
Like, I will not listen to the tricks of an ant.
No, 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 no. This is not a trick. I'm actually asking you a question.
I am a god that will live far beyond that of an ant.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm not questioning that. Gods for known to live that long. The thing is, you are almighty, standing atop of this mountain, but you're petrified. You're not moving, besides from your eyes and mouths, obviously. So,
I am the rock.
I know. I'm talking to a rock, which is okay. Might be dreaming right now, but that's beside the point. Okay, let's get this question to the most basic level. If you are a rock of ages, so to say,
Rock of ages, rock of ages. Sorry.
what good is going to do those legs for you?
They are me. I am the rock.
Quite good. What good is that tail is going to do for you?
I am the rock.
Quite enough. But never in all my years have seen a rock that has wings.
I am the rock. Ant.
Well, you're a rock. You're a god rock. And you stand at top of this mountain. I don't know if you're guarding it. I don't know if you own it. I don't know. Your pick. I don't care. But the legs might serve a purpose. I can get that. The tail also might serve a purpose. I'm totally fine with that. But still, I still do not get wings.
God does not have to explain itself to an ant. There's nothing an ant can give or civilizate to convince the god otherwise.
Well, what if this ant thinks otherwise?
It's like, oh, the rock is the rock, and the ant is the ant.
Do you know how ants make their nests?
Yeah, I do believe they collect resources from the environment.
Some of them do, but some of them they dig deep inside the ground, inside the soil, and sooner or later they come across a rock. Do you know what they do to that rock?
The rock is the rock. Ants are ants.
Yeah, but the ants do have the ways and the means to move that rock to make it obsolete, so to say.
I am the rock, and this is the mountain. I am the rock, and this is the mountain. You're you don't need a bit of empathy to realize there's a very good at shift change there.
Hmm.
Less of a actualization and more of a relationship between it and the mountain.
So, what if I do like those ants do and move pointing to the what would it be called? Something like a stone chimera?
I am the rock.
Okay. So,
There,
what if I do
okay.
like those ants do and move the rock and points to it away so points to the mountain.
I am the rock, the most high. The mountain is the rock. Rock. I am the rock, and the mountain is the mountain.
Okay, so
You
what
definitely
is
notice
Jack?
something else.
Hmm,
Although the tone has started to lack its very assured and self-assured confidence, its its body is still fucking petrified.
okay. So what Jack is going to do is he's going to go next to this thing, kneel down
The rock.
to next to one of
Okay.
its legs,
Hmm.
and then with his hand try to dig away a bit of the soil away from its leg or feet, or I don't know.
Okay. Okay. You start in and you start to do this heinously taboo act, and the rock is still petrified.
Okay. So am I able to move away a part of the soil away from its leg?
Indeed, you are.
Okay. So Jack is going to take a handful of the soil
Hmm.
and hold it up to that thing's face. See? I moved away the first part. If I move away more, the rock is going to topple down and break into pieces.
There's a very long pause. Very long pause while I think of what he's about to say. Hey, what's about to happen? take them.
Well, that wasn't too hard now, was it?
No, you just had to threaten his life.
No, Jack actually said this to that thing.
The ant is the ant. But as he says this, there's a lot less confidence in the wording, and a lot less clear to it, and a little bit of a cracking break.
Mm-hmm. And as it says that, Jack is going to go, an ant with your wings now.
You take the wings. And at this point, the entity known as the Rock has decided silence is the best measurement. It gets this foul hypocrisy, and you're able to go down the village, and you're sort of celebrated as a hero, as it were, or as you take the MacGuffin rock and go ahead and toss it into the well, which had been cursed by an evil spirit. Although metaphysically, what's happened, and you realize this using your academic knowledge, is that there simply was a filtering problem inside the well. And the rock limestone has a component into it that will be able to filter out a lot of the nastiness and toxins and diseases. But as you go back to Elder Walters, the tribe and hut, you are met with saddened faces as it seems he has been passed away and been put into a ceremonial burial chamber. But he did have a few different notes he wished to have passed to you.
Okay.
Notes are kind of reads as follow. As you instinctively reach into your real cloak, your real jacket. And you pull out the letter, the final letters that you haven't haven't had the heart to actually read again. And then you look at them. I was a fool to think that I could keep it all at bay. There will always be others in outer darkness. There will always be. Sometimes you feel like you could win against them. Sometimes they just seem overpowering. The the evil spirit has been lingering on since the dawn of time, since the first vessels, and will always linger on far past when we are all in our respective graves. But it is the fight and the question: what lurks in the heart of man, and can it be cured? I apologize that I have to give this burden onto you, pass this burden on to you.
All right. Are you really asking me what is in the heart of man?
It's just a question, and the embodied voice seems to reassert itself, but this time not in any particular one of these realities, just in the wind.
Well, this brings to the mind the ageless quote. What is a man but a miserable pile of secrets? Hmm?
Fair enough. There are some that do aspire to that ideology and find success.
Success to what?
Wealth, gain, freedom, eternity, what have you.
Well, I had wealth. I decided that I do not want it.
Mm-hmm.
I never actually had eternity. That would be interesting. I'm not really sure that I want fame. No, I think I do not.
Well, well, SS Morningstar. It's fantastic you got your wings back. Heck, you know, SS New York could really use that new binary polar you got that hanging on there.
Okay, let's say that I understood that.
Okay, fair enough. You know, take your trophies, and go forward to fight against that, the darkness, the outerness, as the things that prey upon the living and the worthless, the living and the pitiful. Sorry, I think of a different quote there.
Okay, so that's gonna ring a bell on Jack's mind.
Hmm.
And as he was going to claim his trophy, he's gonna be like, okay, so what? I'm chosen in this battle against darkness.
Hardly chosen, hardly chosen, says the helmeted figure. You chose it.
I did.
You picked up the wings. You put them on, and now your back will be forever marked.
Okay, so where actually are the wings?
In the vision of the battlefield, they are now growing out of your back. If you've ever had to regrow limbs or reattach limbs, or if you've ever had a broken bone before, it's like that feeling, but in the cracking sensation, it forms again, and in the sensations of of reaching out and having a new phantom limb, that was actually never there before, or as it were.
Okay. After a little while, as he gets used to it, can he actually see the wings?
You can flap them. It's a little disnerving because they are phantom limbs, but you can sort of just flex them back and forth with your shoulder blades, as it were. In addition, not a subtraction from your bodily possibility. What color are your wings,
Okay,
good
he's
sir?
gonna actually. They should be golden if we are going with the Avatar team.
Okay, we're good.
Avatar's theme.
I'm good with that.
Okay, he's gonna take a look at the wings and go, okay, now this seriously has to be a fucking joke.
It's as much a joke as you think it is. Let me put it this way. Stop thinking about it in actualities and start thinking about it as different layers of possibilities. One possibility of the infinite cosmos of eternity, the impossibility, you are a very dutiful assistant to a tribal elder. In another one, you are a technician on a piloted vessel. And in another one, you're just here, a warrior. And yet another one, you're just a guy trying to figure it all out.
And in this one, it seems I'm one of the things that I hate the most. Cool.
I think the proper term is you stole it.
I think I did.
You did steal it. Good boy.
That actually sounds good, doesn't it?
Hmm. Take that which you need and do what must be done.
Finally, you're making some damn sense. I appreciate that.
I can't just tell you something. That wouldn't be teaching you the lesson. You have to come to these realities on your own footing. By the way, I hope you guessed my name by now because we're about to leave.
Okay. Battlefield, Golden Wings, the Morning Star name you keep repeating.
I'll also throw in an extra one. The adversary. It's an old one. No one likes to call me that anymore. It's more the truest one.
Well, never in my years I expected to meet with God's most favorite son.
Keep it under your hat. We're going to have a very long career together, I believe. Now, is there anything else you want to do immediately with this mind trippiness? Because you're about to get shunted. You have the realization you're about to be shunted back into your core self.
Okay. So what he's going to do is he's just going to bask it all in and he's just going to spread open his wings before he gets thrown back.
Boom, boom, boom. You feel yourself propelled back actually onto the bell itself as you accidentally hit its conking mechanism, as if for very brief moments a flourishing of bats, of birds just seem to immediately leave the tower. It was almost as if ringing in something new. It was almost as celebrating something new. Almost as if mourning something is lost. Or maybe something gained. You do feel two immense burning sensations on your back. But as you quickly put your hand to your back, you realize that you were expecting wings. You don't know why you're expecting wings, but you were expecting wings, but nothing there. Nothing there at all, but two very fierce burning sensations. And the howling and confusion and has disappeared completely. What has been haunting you, or at least annoying you for the last several months, maybe even years, has just dropped off.
He's going to take a deep breath and again going to pull out his um, inhaler and take another breath. Now, this would make a good tabloid headline.
All right. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are you going to do now? Hell,
Okay, first of all, he at the time realized that he actually met the first of the fallen, Lucifer. And at first he thought this was like a some kind of acid trip or maybe he was having a lucid dream, but it started to feel more and more and more real. And when he get back, he was actually expecting wing. There isn't any. So what he's going to do is he's going to go back to his cheap, dirty little motel room with possibly two, maybe three bottles of Jack. He's gonna and he's gonna actually sit down everything he can find in Christian mythology about Lucifer Morningstar himself. And question,
Go ahead.
did did he actually show himself to Jack? Or he was just in helmet all the time?
You notice him through three different iterations. One as the nameless radio voice known as the adversary, one as the voice upon the wind, and the last one, the helmeted general.
Okay. He's gonna keep all that in mind for his research. And yeah, with that, he's just going to go buy his bottles and trying to make a sense of actually what the hell happened.
You wanna look at your back?
Well, when he gets back to his motel room, of course, he's gonna take out his trench coat, take out his shirt, be left with his tank top inside. And let's say, just with the hand of fate, while he was pouring himself a drink, he's going to notice something glowing on his back, just at the behind, like a mirror right behind him.
Oh, it's a reflection off the blackened TV screen.
Okay. What? What the fuck? And he's
And
just
what
going to
looks. Go
he's
ahead.
just going to go as close as he can to the that TV screen and like try to look down over his shoulder.
What you're looking at seems to be. No, it can't be. There's nothing back there to amputate. No. Oh, you can't amputate something that clearly was never there to begin with, could you? You are seeing your primal marks showing two very, very, very. I want to say nasty, but I don't want to say that as well. Gruesome. There we go. Two very gruesome scarifications down your back, which would not connect to any particular muscle or bone structure, but would be more in line with an avian structure. Give me something. Give me
Okay.
your final thoughts before I close this scene.
His final thoughts? It's
Yep.
going to be one final act more than a final thought.
Go ahead.
He's gonna run for the damned inhaler again. Yep.
I like to thank the players for playing. I like to thank the watch for watching. Hopefully, we'll see you next time.